non-binary stuffs to girls run these worlds. This is a game of Michtim fluffy adventures, and I, Mo, am your ham mistress for the evening. My fellow hams and I have taken over the channel this evening, and here in Terraria, we take what we need, give what we have in return. And if what you need, dear viewers, is a bit of goodwill and sunflower root tea, please feel free to grab a warm mug and enjoy it here amongst friends. Find a spare treehouse and enjoy your stay. We are so happy to share our family with you. And with that, let us introduce the family that is here with me today. Players, could you please share your name, pronouns, and the name of the ham that you are playing this evening? I will start, but I think that we should popcorn after I call on one person, if that's cool. I will go ahead and start with Alice.
Hey guys, I am Alice Hart, she, they pronouns, and I am playing Crumpet.
Amazing. Popcorn.
Shelby.
All right.
Sorry,
Hello, everyone. My name is Shelby. I go by she, they pronouns, and I will be playing Caramel. Sunny.
Hello, I'm Sunny, aka Loving Sunny, a Denny pronoun, really. And I will be playing Tulip. Cheers.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bloodthread Shears, Shears for short. My pronouns are they, them, and I will be playing Dottie Mary Do. Dottie's pronouns are she, her. Over to you, Alice.
Tina. Tina's the last one.
Damn it!
Just me.
Oh. I'm sorry.
One.
I can go twice. I'll play two characters.
Why not? Why not? So I'm Tina, she, her pronouns, and I am playing Sprout, and Sprout's pronouns are they, them.
Amazing. I will go ahead and say I did give Ryu is producing. Thank you so much for producing this evening, Ryu. I did give Ryu the Twitter handle of the creator of this game, Zev. So you can find them on Twitter. They are the creator and the writer of this game. You can purchase, I believe I think it's a website that's on their Twitter where you can buy the book. It's very cute. Look how cute it is. I have a physical copy. It's
God, I really
green
want one.
and cozy and small, and you can read it in a night. I reread it in probably like half an hour earlier today, going over the rules for my players. So don't be shy. Go get it and be hams with your friends. Hashtag
ham.
not sponsored, but I love the game. So, perfect. I will say, wow, Ryu made a thing and everything. Look at you go. Amazing.
Shout out to producers, to be honest. Like, hello. You keep the show running literally, and like biggest thank you, because oh my god.
Yep. All right. Well, without further ado, I do have a little bit of a intro paragraph that I wrote for everybody, and then we'll get into some real introductions. So without further ado, I will go ahead and start. At the edge of the woodland coast lies a large settlement of small mammals. These creatures are cute, fuzzy, soft, and friendly. They have jobs, pets, families, and problems just like us. But together, in their treehouse nests, all snuggly in their slippers, they dream. Some of the babbling brook at the base of the sky-high stumps, some of the mushroom caps that change color in the transition from summer to fall, and others of what tasty treat the local bakery will have ready for them to enjoy when their little eyelashes flutter open in the morning. The early hours here are quiet and calm, save for the rustling of leaves against each other from the treetops, the lapping of soothing morning waves against the sandy shore, the bubbling of acorn coffee pots rumbling awake, and the tiny snores of the companions these creatures keep. Welcome to Ternaia. We hope that you enjoy your stay. If anybody's crying already, we're doomed.
I'm easily charmed.
I want to move in there.
I need a big giant thing of fleece to like wrap myself around and just make
It's
a
too
pillow
hot
fort
here.
out of
I
this.
would do the same thing. Well, let's wake up our hams for the day, shall we? I did ask all of my players to have a warning routine prepared, so we will go ahead and start with those now. The tea is steeping, the ocean water is cool, and the tree houses are beginning to get ready for the day. Their inhabitants on the inside, stretching their little hamster arms and opening their little hamster eyelids, and kind of quickly pulling off their super cozy hamster comforters. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start with a yarn shop, where a sleepy ham slumbers above by night, by night, and works below by day. Shears, please go ahead, describe your ham. Give us your house. There are 3 houses in Michtim. Your calling, which is the thing that hams kind of work towards, like your job, and your morning routine.
Well, Dorothy Dottie Meridew is part of House Ternaya. She is slender but poofy with like a calico coating. Her paws are a little arthritic from many, many years of working on machines and fighting with knitting patterns that make no sense. She has a lovely little place with her partner in the stump, a kind of condo slash apartment complex that she managed to buy with the royalties she earned from Dottie's medical machine. She's asleep. Her alarm didn't go off.
Hmm.
And it's Bob's day to go off to college. She looks up at the sun, realizes, biscuits! Bob, get up! Get up! You gotta go to college! Let's go! We're gonna miss the bus! She's throwing everything around. It is basically this scene from Home Alone where the entire family's hauling tush to get to the plane. And she's like waking up Bob, like, Bob, come on, let's go. Come on.
As you start to do that, you are shocked to see your wife kind of do a little double knock on the door behind you and go, "Oh dear, don't worry about it. It's fine. I've got everything taken care of for you." I will say they were out of baked goods at the bakery this early in the morning. I know everybody's been heading over there so soon lately. Everything's just so good over there, you know. But Bob is ready to go. I've got lunch packed. I've got clothes set out. I've got everything all ready except for Bob actually being up. So yeah, you're right. Come on, Bob. Let's go.
Hang on, I'm
And Bob
grabbing the
kind
frying
of
pan. And I'm grabbing a frying pan. I'm grabbing a ladle. I am doing the morning routine and I'm going to demonstrate with my toolkit. Wake up! It is time for you to go to college.
no, we
And you
don't want
hear
him
the
to
clang,
go that.
clang, clang, clang.
We don't want him to go that bad. We don't want him to go that bad. Bob, you know, we love you so much. We just need you to get higher education so that you can be, you know, adventurers. Like some of the great
Clang,
folks in our
clang,
community.
clang, clang, clang.
The good
You
cop,
are not
bad
missing this
cop
bus.
mentality between these two moms. A cab. That was just a yeah. Um Everything's fine. Everything's great. Bob is just kind of looking between the two of you like, "Okay, got it. Um, just curious. My alarm didn't go off this morning. Am I going to be like late for my first day? Cuz if that's the case, I would just rather like not go." And he looks really defeated. Um and Betty real quick
Robert
grabs like
Marydew.
Robert.
You worked your butt off to go to that college. You got in on full ride scholarship. There is no way in the trees and in the dirt you are missing your first day of class. Now, come on. Get some pants on, get your hat. We're going to the bus, and we're going to make sure you get there and have a good day in college.
You know
Am I
what?
understood? I love you very much.
Bob's just kind of like slowly getting up out of bed and like putting on his cloak and grabbing his bag that has his lunch in it. And he's like waiting by the door. And Betty comes over and she puts both paws on your shoulders and just gives you a little smooch on the forehead and goes, You know, it's fine. We'll take the pill bug this morning. I think that he missed the bus, but everything's going to be okay. I've got it all handled. I do have a fresh plate of nuts and berries for you. They're almost as sweet as you. I just really think that you need to take today to rest. You've done so much to prepare for this little one getting ready to go to his first day of college, and I really appreciate and love all of the emotional labor that you have put into this transition for our family. And she just like gives you another smooch, and we'll turn around and grab Robert by the shoulder and start to lead him down the spiral staircase that leads down the tree trunk.
As they do, I pop my head out the window and say, "Honey,
What?
don't forget you're on Don't forget your lunch. You're on sabbatical."
Yeah, it's on the counter. I'll grab it when I get back. I've got a leisurely day of hammock sitting and knitting needle sharpening to do today, okay? We're doing nothing stressful. It's just gonna be a calm one. I love
No
you.
working, Betty. I promise.
You hear her kind of grumble at the bottom of the stairs, and you do see the pretty large pill bug like take off, like running down the middle of the square in the direction of hissing school, upper level hissing school for college. And they are just having a wonderful time kind of bouncing up and down as the road's not incredibly straight, narrow, or smooth. All right. Wow, what a morning for those guys. I love Dottie so much. What is the
I told
name
you
of
she's
your
gonna be a
shop,
Long
by
Island
the
mom.
way? I did not ask.
As soon as the noise from Dottie can be heard from 2 tree trunks away,
Mm.
she goes to make her morning tea. It is a mix of lemon shavings and lavender. And then she goes downstairs, says hi to her neighbors and the nice little spider with the hat on top, gossip for a little bit, and then going over to her yarn shop. It is the Forest Knitter.
Thank you.
Fine yarns, fibers, and fabrics.
Perfect. I'm not just writing this for the first time.
The the sign is basically knitting needles, a bolt of fabric, and a hamster busy at work on a sewing machine, which was Dottie's latest invention.
Amazing. That's perfect. Great. All right. I think next on the list, I have Sunny. So we are joining Sunny at the flower shop next, where a tiny bumblebee is holding hands in a hammock with a ladybug right above the windowsill, and they're both kind of snuggled in little soft cotton cocoons.
Oh my
And a
god.
tiny ham wakes from a good night's rest. So Sunny, you know, same thing. Name, house, calling, morning routine.
So we look at a tulip, a little, very small, very completely round ham. Just like roll up on the bed and the hammock go like. Spends a good many minutes rubbing her face and eyes. She they pronouns for tulip. Cause hmm, good morning, Bree. The little bumblebee that's currently holding hands with the ladybug. Just like, hello, did they talk? That's an important question I forgot to ask. I'm assuming that do they?
I do have sounds prepared if you would like to interact
Oh,
with your bugs.
oh,
I will say
shit.
your bee buzzes. I'm not sure if my mic will pick it up, just kind of like a
Mm-hmm.
bzz,
Mm-hmm.
and like I'll like nod and like go like this. So like a bzz is like the bee like rolling over and like the fluff kind of readjusting around the ovular body of this small bee. And you see like there's pollen everywhere. Like this bee was too tired to dust
Oh,
themselves off before going to sleep last night.
oh,
It's very
that
yellow.
is so cute. Good, good. Tulip likes that. So yeah, goes, wakes up, gets ready, picks up a bow, puts on top of their head, goes running to look for her grandma. Like goes around. The bedroom is very full of flowers. There's flowers everywhere. That's like not only in the garden they have like a nice little garden, fresh flowers, but the bedroom is like very green and very sweet. Probably very small. Tulip doesn't need a lot of space or stays in the bedroom for too long. So it's just like a little thing. Just wakes up and goes, Grandma, 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 looking for Kara, and goes give her a big hug. Like, good morning, Grandma, good morning. And goes prepare some like flower nectar for Bree, her little bumblebee, and their little ladybug friend. And goes prepares her breakfast and all of that. And immediately after going like through the little initial routine of taking care of the bee and herself, goes to look after the many flowers that she has and sells, even though usually it gives them away a little more than not, and takes care of them, starts singing, asking if they're nice and if they're feeling okay, if they're feeling good, making sure they're all properly taken care of and hydrated, and starts like picking the best ones. Makes a little basket. I have a basket, please. Makes a little basket to go around selling around town and everything. And the ones that are looking a little more sad and not feeling too great. Oh no, my thing is falling. That's okay. And like she goes and like starts preparing some nectars and some balms and like preparing some little tea for like getting uh getting ready for a day of adventure, around town, being very cute, and probably waiting for their grandma to go and see what's in store for today. Cause yeah, really likes the grandma, and just very soft. I forgot to say what house they're from. It's the house Tarnaya as well, and she's very small and very round. Important.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What is your calling, by the way?
She is a bard.
A bard. Shears,
Yeah.
what's your calling? You didn't
Oopsie.
Biscuits, I was muted.
Oh,
Uh, Dottie's calling is machinist.
Amazing.
Oh.
All right. And as we transition real quick from all of the bumbling bees that are starting to gather around this small garden that is right outside uh, of the very small, perfectly round ham uh, that is Tulip, we do transition over to the one of the most cozy and quiet corners of the block. Shelby, would you like to describe Grandma and Grandma's room, please?
Yes. Uh, Caramel is who I am playing. She is also very small and very round. You can see the family resemblance with Tulip. They are both very small and very round. Caramel has soft golden fur. Currently, she is sitting in her garden, drinking a coffee and eating a pastry and reading the newspaper for the latest hamster news. It is a very lovely, quiet morning, and she prefers it that way. You will hear classical music coming in from a radio nearby within earshot. And now when Tulip comes running in to say good morning, she says, "Oh, good morning," and gives Tulip a hug and pats her on the back to go, and as a way of saying, "Go about your business. I will come by later after you've made your rounds to sell your flowers. And please, my dear, please remember to try and sell some flowers and not just give them away. You have a beautiful, kind heart, but you need to make some money."
Okay, Grandma. I'll try.
Okay. You guys both notice the bees are starting to swarm a little bit, not in a bad way, but the flower garden that you two have curated over the years is really starting to bloom right now. It is the kind of like spring into summer season right now. So everything is in bloom. There are tons of pill bugs carrying like anywhere from small hams to bigger college grad on the way hams heading down the road outside. It's just school season. I think we're going to transition next. I do have Tina on the list. Tina has another garden that's welcoming the bees this morning. So you guys see the bees are going from treehouse to treehouse. And Tina, your treehouse is the next on the list. I imagine that Bo pays a visit this time of morning. That is the bee that belongs to Tulip. So you do see, Bo paying a visit to your ladybug. Uh, sorry, Bo is your ladybug, and Bree is the bee. I will probably mess that up more than once. Anyway, Bo and Bree, I love them so much. Um, you have, however, a small Newfoundland. Yes, I say small like it's an oxymoron. Small Newfoundland compared to the hamsters is still a large dog for the hamsters, but it is a small Newfoundland. It is hamster Newfoundland sized. um, so it is licking your face, just enjoying watching all of the bees buzzing outside of your window. And Tickle does begin to nudge kind of an empty acorn cap at your feet at the base of the bed, just in case you didn't get the hint.
All right, Tickle. All right. Up we get. Up we get. Up we get. So Sprite is larger, stronger looking than what you would think witch. She looks somewhat like a Syrian hamster. She has lovely cream fur with black tipped ears and a very pink nose. And on that nose is perched a very round, large pair of glasses. And she keeps a little safety pin that she found in the front of her very long satin coat, just right here in between her ears to curl that front bit of her fur, just in case she would ever find her, Prince Charming while she's tending her garden. You've never actually seen that curl out and loose. It's always, rolled up in a safety pin with some moss to like pat it out. Yeah. So she gets up, dons her little slippers, and first thing she has to do, of course, is be sure that Tickle has his breakfast. After that, however, it is time for her wonderful morning ritual, which is her perfect cup of tea. So she heads on out to her garden. Her garden that is entirely specialized to any type of tea that you could fathom. But her personal favorite is a mix of dandelion and chamomile tea. And she sits them very, very carefully so that she doesn't bother the plants too much and trims off just enough for her cup. And it's like a ritual she does every morning, and she loves it. And you can see all sorts of little labels all across her garden that instead of having what plants they are, it has the names of the people who live around her. And each little brew for each person is in a certain area of her garden, and she always knows the perfect cup of tea for every visitor that she has.
I want a hamster to know my cup of tea
Right?
so that I can indulge.
That
Wow.
was right on the heart. Right on the
Uh-huh.
heart. Oh.
Laser guided too.
Oh.
Perfect.
She's a sweet one.
I will say at this point in the morning, the few companions to the hams that do live within like flying or scampering distance away from each other, so that would be Bo the ladybug, Bree the bumblebee, and Tickle the small Newfoundland, all do pay each other a visit this morning, kind of giving each other boops on the nose, just right kind of at the bottom of all of your tree stumps. So you can see them all just having a great time, hanging out, saying good morning to each other, making sure that everybody is well rested and ready for their little companion jobs today, whether they be a companion animal or whether they be in charge of helping to pollinate a lot of the different fruits and vegetables that you all grow here in the town that all the Michtims live in together. But last but not least, I do have Alice left. And Alice, I actually, real quick, need from you, what is the name of the bakery?
The bakery Crumpet runs is called Try Your Zest.
Yeah, it is. So far today at the bakery, I will say there are no smells quite yet emitting from the oven chimney or the open windows that welcome in the bay breeze. Um, Alice, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead, describe your ham, your house, your calling, and your morning routine as you're getting ready for the bakery.
Of course. So by this point of the day, Crumpet has been out of bed well before dawn. They are a little cook hamster, though not quite little. They're definitely a much larger, fluffier, strong hamster with like white and gray curly fur. And they might not be a morning person, but their calling, especially in House Ternaya, means that they are up before the dawn, before pretty much every hamster gets out of bed in order to get their own breakfast. Um, Crumpet forces themselves through a quick get ready, make sure that Bo has his little bit of food that they put out for him before heading down into Try Your Zest to get started on everything they have to get done today. Uh, First, they start on like little lemon zest and honey cookies and lavender bread, and they obtain something called chocolate from the two legs and have been trying to make that into little muffins. They're not really sure how those are going to go over with the rest of the hamsters yet, but hopefully.
Sure. I will say you do have an assistant here at the bakery. His name is Manny. He is a very short, very stumpy, almost like bell-shaped hamster with big ol', boy hamster hips. Got big old booty on his little ham. And he is like almost pure white with like black spots, kind of like Dalmatian ham, and he does have teeny tiny little nose glasses, just very at the tip of his snout. And he will address you incredibly nervously this morning. Miss Crumpet, we have a little bit of a problem. I just realized that the big old honey dispenser is almost empty. It's completely my fault. I should have refilled it last night before I closed up for the day. I know that you had stuff to do and it was your day of rest, and I really should have respected that more. But I just need to let you know I do need to like pay the forest a little visit today. I'm almost positive that CC, not well, yeah, CC will approve in lieu of morning announcements this morning. But I also just need to grab something from Pepperidge Farm real quick. Pep for short. He's the honey beekeeper here in town for everybody. So if you're cool, maybe like running the shop a little bit by yourself this morning, we're not going to be able to make any more baked goods until I go to get this honey.
Oh, Manny Sugar, don't worry. It'll be fine. We'll get the bread out. We'll get anything that's not sweet out. Don't worry. I've been doing this much longer than you have. You just take care of it. Here, have a cookie from yesterday. I promise they're still good. Now, deep breath, hun. Deep breath. It's not your fault. It's okay. Pep is going to get you all the honey you need, and we'll get everything turned out. Worst case scenario, people don't get their sugar rush until a little later today. It's okay.
All right, I just feel really guilty, and I appreciate your compassion on this matter. I won't let it happen again, boss. I promise.
Even if it's okay, Manny, it happens. We can't all be perfect and at 50 places at once, okay?
Okay, amazing. I do think if you want to hop outside, it is almost time for morning announcements. I did go ahead and refill your tea if that was okay. I think I remember how you like it, even if I can't remember to refill the honey at the end of the day. And he like nervously, shaky paws, hands you a mug that's like threatening to spill over at the sides.
Crumpus is gonna take it. Take a sip out of it. It's perfect, Muffin. Don't worry. Now just again, don't worry. Just go get the honey. I'll go to morning announcements. I promise you are not gonna miss a thing. I'll make sure you know. And then we'll get back started as soon as you get back, okay?
Okay, deal. I promise I'll be back. Quicker than a dandelion in the wind. And he will like race out of the door. And before anybody else can do anything, you guys do hear over the treetop loudspeaker, which is, of course, a call and response of friendly mimicking crows. Good morning, Michtims! It is me, Cadbury Cream, coming to you live with the Puppet Show news! And you all watch out of your various hamster windows as a single hand pops up into view in the treetop directly above the town square, covered, of course, by a small hamster puppet, square glasses, and gruff silver fur holding a tiny pretend newspaper who's flailing his free arm around to garner attention. Today is a day of celebration. The long legs have left us another offering. 'Tis Believer Day. And for the audience, long legs are humans. You've probably heard that word a couple times now. Mictims exist much like Fae in this world, so if you believe in them, their powers, callings are strengthened and continue to thrive. Believer slash Offering Day is one of the few times that Mictims get to enjoy produce outside of what they can grow themselves, trinkets and baubles from the human realm that the hams then use to build their homes and educate their young with on the long legs in Hissing School. Believer Day happens once a month, where all hams gather at the very edge of the tree line behind their tree houses, and a select few are able to breach the forest's edge to collect their gifts from the long legs. The queen always takes volunteers first, so there is always consent given in who goes on this dangerous excursion through the tall grass to the Michtim Fountain, which is, of course, the source of the brook that starts beyond the forest, winds between the trees, and spills into the ocean, like the bay next to like the bakery, and kind of like the seaside area. In reality, the fountain is but a few yards from the tree line, but to a Michtim, a few yards is quite the fair distance. So you guys hear once again on the loudspeaker, slightly louder than the buzzing of the bees over your heads as everybody begins to make their way out of their houses into their respective shops, etc. Everybody, please gather in the square for a complimentary button, courtesy of the Queen, and enjoy each other's company until we depart as a group. Thank you, and have a wonderful day. All right. As you all begin to gather in the square, is anybody doing anything in their homes before you leave to gather with everybody else in the square?
Dottie is opening up the shop and getting ready for the day to take stock and also put up a help wanted sign. She needs somebody to help with the yarn. So she figures business is doing good. I can take somebody on, mentor them. And she puts out like some samples. If you've ever seen like a tiny, like somebody who's super short try to tackle giant things, it's like, meh, eh, meh, ha.
They're
And then she
relatable, just like me for real.
uh,
Short person brigade.
As Dottie's doing that, you hear the next door like open and shut real quickly. Much smaller tree, almost like a sapling, and a little jumping spider with a blue apron with white frill jumps out and immediately rushes to your aid to kind of like climb up the side of the shelf that you're attempting to stack things on or get things off of, and extend her front little arms and go, "Hey, Dottie, you really shouldn't be attempting all this all by your lonesome. I'm right next door. You can always ask me for assistance."
I know. I'm just opening up shop. It's fine.
Is it fine, though?
And
Last
besides,
time you broke a disc. What are we going to do the next time you break one?
I'm 45. What do you expect?
I know that you have your big fancy medical machine, but we can't go using it on you every time. It's a community machine. You know what I mean?
Oh, come on. I'm in charge of maintaining it.
Yeah, but if you're using it, you should get to reap the benefits. You shouldn't just have to play maintenance man all the time.
Anyways, I put up the help wanted sign. I know you've been nagging me about that.
I offered to help. I've got perfect hands for this kind of thing.
I know. And come on, you know I'm going to have you on as a teacher for the workshop.
I do like to spool. I do enjoy that quite a bit. So yeah, let me know whenever the classes are starting. I will free up my schedule. But until then, you ready to head into the square? We got a lot of folks coming today. Do you mind if I like sit on your shoulder during the grand migration, as it were? I have a real problem with seeing over all the little fluffy heads. My vision's not that great anymore.
I keep telling you to go to the eye doctor.
I've got 8 of them. What are they gonna tell me? Like, who's gonna make 8 eyeglasses?
Glasses. I gotta make glasses for you.
I mean, I suppose, but I don't want to inconvenience anyone,
Oh, the same person who's been on my tail about going to a doctor for my slipped disc. Won't go to the eye doctor because of their 8 eyes.
Listen, I know I can be a hypocrite, but it's all in your best interest, darling. I love ya. I think that we should go to the square. We can bicker some more tomorrow during morning gossip. I got some real juice to share with you. You know what I mean? Real juice.
Yeah. Oh, did Bernadette actually propose?
Not yet. Not almost. I mean, I'm crossing my legs, all 8 of them. So we'll see.
And like Dottie goes over to the cash register, pulls out 2 acorns, and hands it to her friend.
What are these
Like
for?
2 acorns in 2 weeks for that proposal.
You're on. And she'll kind of like pocket them in the big pocket of her apron and zip it shut.
Yeah.
And she will get on your shoulder if you're headed to the square. Anybody else?
I will be finishing up my coffee and very slowly, meticulously tidying up my morning relaxation spot, bringing it all inside. And as I am tidying up, I hear a brisk, efficient tapping at one of the windows. It is one of the crows, and they have a small envelope in one of their talons. I will open up the window, and I'll look at the scratching or the hand paw writing on the envelope. Oh, this is the payment. This is the payment that for those for that sweater that I made. Wonderful. Because as I neglected to mention earlier, Caramel is an artist, specifically a tailor. And you did not get to hear my last name. I am a mononym, like Cher, but with fashion.
Yes. I need you to put like share but with fashion in like your bio or something because oh
Yeah.
wow.
Someone please
good.
clip that.
I don't know if I did it in time. I was trying to type. I was in the wrong window.
Oh no.
And I will give I will take the payment out of the envelope and then put something back in. Here you go for your kindness to the crow. Have a wonderful day.
Does Caramel I'm going to say it's canon that Caramel has a like give and take relationship with the crows. Like they give you, invoices and payments in exchange for like, an assortment of like fruit and veg and nuts. And like do you have like a bird feeder situation thing?
I do, yes. And if it's especially urgent, I'll make sure to put out a lovely little lump of suet out on the tray. And they know they have ESP of a sort. They can understand, oh, there is suet out there. There must be something important going on.
Amazing. Yeah. Uh
I imagine Tulip has been running around Caramel all this time. Oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Hey, when are we going to the square? What you got there? When we going to the square, Grandma? When we go? Oh, is that money? Oh, when we going to the square?
It is just I finally got paid for that sweater that I made 2 weeks ago.
Good. Oh, good. Yeah, that took a while. It was very
It did.
pretty.
It did lots of fancy stitches.
Oh, yeah. I like that
S-
sweater.
So, well, once I've rested my paws a little bit, we'll see about making one for you. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Because you should always express yourself through fashion.
Yeah, that's why I always wear a bow, Grandma.
I notice. It's very nice.
Thank you.
That's a new ribbon. Very good.
Yes, you noticed. Thank you.
Yes. I always notice. All right, let us go to the square.
Hey, grabs the cookie.
Perfect. As you guys are on your way, huffing and puffing and carrying like a small backpack that has like like bell plants that catch bugs. Like that's kind of what it is, like a bell plant full of honey on Manny's back as he is racing back through town. He almost bumps into you both on your way down the stairs. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Got to get to the bakery. Can't talk. Have a great morning. See you in the square. And he's like mostly out of breath. And he finally makes it to the bakery where Crumpet is anxiously waiting to make sweet things. Once again, Crumpet, it is up to you whether you would like to take a second and be like a tad late and just be in like the back of the Grand Migration to the edge of the forest, or if you want to just like the honey will be fine, like hang, you have a designated honey hanging like hook on the back of the for his backpack. He does this all the time.
Which is why Crumpet probably goes through the process of getting some bags together and has Bo carrying a little basket for heading off into the forest and collecting some, hopefully some interesting ingredients. And while Manny's been gone, they have been getting very creative with some of these recipes, trying to substitute the fact that there is no honey whatsoever right now, which is why they put up a good show of drinking about half the cup of tea that had no sweetener in it before having to set that down. And the time Annie was gone, they've probably gotten some dough proofing with like dried fruit and little bits of seeds and everything, so he can toss them into the oven while they're gone. And um they've probably wrapped up some of the leftovers from the night previous to hand out in the square. See if they can get a little bit of feedback, especially with that chocolate muffin that they're trying out. Um and they're probably closing the door right when Manny arrives, and just a little bit of a dance back and forth of, okay, go in, just, you know what to do. I trust you, Manny. You've got this. You have got this cookie. Okay?
Do you want the honey in the honey pot or on the hook on the back of the door and we can lift it together? I'm used to lifting it by myself, but if you don't trust me, I understand.
Manny, you should know by now. I trust you implicitly. You have got this. You're going to be running this bakery one day when I am old and all gray. I'm going to trust you to hang the honey. I'm going to trust you to finish up the cookies.
That's a lot of responsibility, Ms. Crumpet. I am not sure I'm ready for that yet. I'm like fresh out of college hissing school, and you see Manny's eyes begin to like tear up a little bit, and he's like heaving the honey into the honey pot, and it goes perfectly smoothly. He had nothing to worry about. And he lays the empty like bell plant over the grate where you guys dispose not dispose of, but the equivalent of like hamster honey recycling. Like it just kind of goes into a tube that the bees can then collect, but you guys don't have time to like scrape it all
Mhm.
out of the bell plant. So the bees will enjoy a snack and take care of that for you. Um, and he does sit splooted in the middle of the floor for a second to finish his cookie, to get his energy back up. And then he will reach into his little hamster fanny pack, pull out the keys that he used this morning to open the bakery so that it was ready for you, and come and close the door behind you. And you guys can head into the square together. All right. Amazing. Tina, I have a question for you about Tickle. Is Tickle an off leash or an on leash Newfoundland?
So he is amazing off leash, but
Okay.
for special occasions, Sprout likes to get fancy. So she has a proper like handle kind of harness contraption for Tickle, and she walks him very proudly in front of like with this whole handle and harness contraption, and it has like shiny metal on the front of it that says Tickle across on the front. And then like even Sprout, like they have got all the clobber on for today, so like layered all sorts of different shawls, and even like a little like scarf like folded all into a pretty bow at the front. And yeah, it's all fantastic. Maybe Caramel made some of these pieces, in fact.
Of course I did. If it is fashionable, it is mine.
Yeah. Now the safety pin's still in the hair, but she tried.
The confidence which Caramel speaks about her work is what I think everybody should speak about their personal projects, like, at all times.
Yep.
Like, everybody just take that to heart, please. If we all had that confidence in this space, no one would have a problem.
I want to be just like Caramel when I grow up.
Right?
too.
Yeah, me,
drink to that.
Sunny, not Tulip. Me, Sunny.
Oh gosh. Well, in that case, I will go ahead and say this then, Sprout. Tickle looks amazing. Like dressed to the nines, tail wagging, fur going everywhere. You're secretly hoping that the long legs have given you another like fur remover. It's like a long pole with like sticky sheets of paper around it. It happened once, and everybody thinks that it's a myth, but you swear that it happened one time. All right. So, ready to go. Tickle is like waiting at the door for you. Does Tickle go first or do you go first? Do you have like a Tickle like closes the door with a rope situation or something?
Oh, Tickle goes first, but then she has to turn around and fix the door. So yeah. But she's well used to this. She like walks out first to be all proud, and then like circles back and then goes back to the front. And I'm
Amazing.
like trailing along behind with my shawls and buttons everywhere.
Cool. Just so everybody knows, I do have sounds for these companions. So we have Tickle. I'm utilizing like the boof sound, like boof boof, instead of bark bark. We have Bree the bee, which is buzz buzz. And then we have Bo the ladybug, which I just have saying bug. Bug bug. So just so everybody understands, so you know who is speaking when it comes to the animals, because they do not have overlay names or anything. So bug, boof, buzz. If everybody's paying attention, and so everybody knows if your companion is speaking to you or not, or if it's another person's companion. Perfect. Okay. You guys all managed to get down to the bottom of your tree stumps. I will say, most likely, Sprout, you have to close. You have to close the doggy door that got left wide open this morning when all the companions were having their little companion powwow.
Yeah.
But as you all gather in the square, you begin to see the babblings and beginnings of your fellow Michtims. This button, this time around, is a bright gold with 3 holes. Not 2 holes this time, it's got 3. I know, fancy. It's very useful as a coaster or a shield for the right sized youngin'. What a treat. I will say, Caramel, this thing looks like it's gonna be the next fashion trend. Like you can do something with this for sure.
I'm taking mental notes.
Yeah. Dottie, the holes are the perfect size to put like your thickest, most luxurious yarn through. So keep that in mind. You do see, though, that the person who's handing these out is CC Cardberry Cream, but he is using his puppet to hand them out. So, two little hamster puppet arms with a button in between them are taking them out of a bag and handing them to your friends. Cadbury Cream really goes ham on this bit, if you will. Uses the puppet everywhere. Um, I can't do a French accent, and now I'm regretting it. I can't. I will say Sarah, our CEO, can do a really good one, but I need to take notes. Cool. What is everybody doing with their button? Do you put it away for like safekeeping? Does anybody have like a ritual every time that you get a button before you go on an excursion? Is this like a badge of honor for anyone?
I'd say Tulip definitely grabs the button and puts a flower in the puppet, like as an exchange. It's like, yes. And then looks at Caramel like, what do with this?
Oh.
Tries to like, what do? You the fashion one, Grandma.
Put it in your pocket for now. I'll figure it out. I'm thinking
Okay.
about it.
Okay, thank you. But yeah, the flower. The payment for the button, obviously.
Yeah, the barter system is rampant among mixed up Mictums, so feel free, trade for anything and you will get something back. I can't promise. I have a small table of things that people could trade for. I can't promise it'll be useful, but it's something. Same thing once you guys get to this hamster fountain too. You guys are gonna be like, what the heck, Mo? So anyways, does anybody else do anything with their button? I will say between the two of you, you have two. You can do something with the two of them.
Again, I need to think about it. The best fashion cannot happen right in the moment. It needs time.
Yeah, there's a
See,
process.
this is where Sprite really differs, and this is where she's not fashion, she's just like pure instinct. She wears all of her buttons haphazardly throughout all these different shawls that she has layered. So she just like hooks it in there, and there's yet another button added to the collection.
You look very pretty.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Have a
It's
flower.
nothing. Oh my god. Oh, thank you. And remember, I have your tea right at home.
Oh, I'll get it when we're back. Thank you.
Yes, dear.
From behind, you hear Dottie and her arachnid friend. I forgot. Did we ever name my friend?
I have Gertrude written down. Let me know if that's wrong.
Perfect.
Gertie for short.
Gertie and I are like just bantering. I see Caramel, who's somebody who I get along with. Who I think I get along with.
Dottie thinks so. I'm not sure if Caramel agrees by that look.
Look, I supply the fabric. So from behind you hear a very boisterous Dottie say, Caramel! How you doing?
And I am still shaking off the last dregs of sleepiness. The coffee has not quite, filtered through yet. And I will flinch a little bit. But then turn around and say, oh, hello. We really need to figure out how to bottle that energy. You could get a lot if you could learn how to bottle it and sell it.
I'm working on it. I got a machine in the works. How's your sewing machine working? You need it maintenance?
Not yet. I find that I need to sweet talk it a little bit every now and then. Sometimes it seems a little stubborn, like it wants to eat my fabric. But when working together, it is a collaboration, like the best fashion.
Oh, I hear that. You ever need me to take a look at it? I got my kit and I got the owner's annual if you need another copy. Uh, and she goes to get the button, and she's like, "Oh, the back. I'm getting old for this." And she's just like, "You looking forward to a new haul?"
Wait, are you
Oh,
saying this to Caramel, not Gertrude? Just making sure.
well, it will depend on what the long legs leave us, because sometimes they give us nice fabric. Other times, in the past, it has been this strange blend that I've heard them call polyester, which I don't like it. It doesn't breathe very well.
Don't
And
they use that to like line our tents?
yeah, we can use it for that, but for clothes, not so much. Let's hope for some good linen this time. I will see if I can make
Oh yeah,
I'll see if I can make
yeah,
something good for summer.
yeah. Oh, I just got a new shipment in of some plant silk and some banana fiber. So you let me know if you want that for your summer collection.
I'll come in and take a look. Thank you.
All right. Oh, and you remember Gertie, right?
Yes, yes, I do. Gertie, you still haven't gone to the eye doctor.
See, I keep telling you to go to the eye doctor.
And if they give you any problems about making eyeglasses for you, uh, it's my nephew Otto. He runs the optometrist. Talk to my nephew, and if he gives you any problems, you just tell me, and I will go and talk some sense into him.
I cannot believe that your nephew's the hamptologist. I had no idea. What a small world!
It is very small, very round.
Very round. And I go to to Gertie. I'm like, I keep telling you to go to the hamptologist. See, you got it in.
It's not that simple. I gotta have free time, right? So that's already hard enough to come by. I'll make time for you, darling, but I can't really do that for just anyone, including the hamptologist. I can see just fine, right? My purple apron is, a perfect example. Isn't it gorgeous? Her apron is blue. Um,
And the buttons on your shirt beg to differ with that. They are
I
a
have
little bit you you are a little bit off, my dear.
she she whispers to Dottie, I got buttons on my shirt. She like, oh, I love
Oh
her.
my God, Gertie, go make an appointment. Go to
Then
the doctor.
I gotta pick up the acorn phone, and you know how much I hate the acorn phone. The buttons are
I
so
know you do, but
small.
what's more important? Finding out being able to see, or you going through the acorn phone? You can use mine if you need to.
Dottie, what if I got cataracts? What am I gonna do if they tell me if I got cataracts? Then I'm gonna have to get them removed
Oh, you
using your
don't have
machine.
cataracts.
It's gonna be a whole thing.
I have a tea to
Okay.
help,
See?
You just need
Sprout
some
knows what she's
carrot
doing.
roots.
Sprout knows what they're doing.
You'll be fine. You just have to go to the doctor.
See? You know what I'm right. I'm right.
And
You're all
if
too
it's
nice to
hard,
reward me.
you can ask for help and bring someone with you. It could a friend would press the buttons and all
See?
that.
I would love the opportunity to really, use those young eyes of yours. I'm sure you can just see everything perfectly clear. You can probably tell leaves apart on trees, can't you?
I can. I know their names too.
See?
Of course you
See?
do. Of course you do.
I say to Caramel, you got a good grandkid, good head on her shoulders. Oh, by the way, I do have an opening at my shop. If you're looking, you know anybody who's looking for a job.
I will keep my ears open, and I will ask if you give me some flyers. I will ask the crows to post them.
Oh, you're a ham doll. I love you.
I do my best.
Kara literally has friends in high places.
Mhm.
Literally.
I love it.
Flyers for the
Biscuits
crows
and gravy. Why?
because they fly.
Flyers.
Mm. Mm.
Put a check on the pun counter.
We're already up to
from
5.
Shelby.
Those are
uh,
rookie numbers.
Hey, Crumpet, you feel a small tug on your cloak as Manny right next to you is kind of like shuffling, like with his hands just like in front of his little belly pooch. He's got a little place where he hides his cookies, you know. Okay, Crumpet, real quick. I'm a little bit nervous to ask. You like offered me my job. I'm not great at not like confrontation, but just like instigating conversation. And I do have a twin. So if you wouldn't mind, he has been looking to enter into the workforce under somebody who would treat him nicely. You know how you treat me and stuff. And I was just wondering, I did just overhear those two ladies over there talking about a potential job opening. So, like, if you would like to maybe throw like Marty's name in the hat, that would be swell.
Of course.
Aw.
Have him come to the shop. I'll show him around. See what he can do. If Marty does good, I'll keep him on.
Marty
We
instantly
can always
hides
use
behind
somebody to
Crumpet.
spin the yarn.
Like, didn't
Like-
realize that Dottie could overhear, thinking that he was being quiet.
Look, when it comes to business, Dottie is very serious about her ham business.
Yeah, Dottie's all ears, says
Oh.
Gertrude.
Peanut, please don't. There's nothing to be afraid of. Ms. Dottie, she is perfectly fine. After all, Manny, part of the business is being nice to people and making conversation. So come on out, introduce yourself. And if we need to get Marty a job, Ms. Dottie is hiring, it sounds like. But that means maybe you should talk to her. And then she shoves another cookie in his hands and pushes him forward.
Manny drops the notepad that he'd been writing down muffin and peanut, kind of just the things that you call him during the day, coming up with a new recipe to show you later. And he kind of shuffles forward and like making eye contact out of the very top of his little hamster eyelids, longest, little man hamster eyelashes you've ever seen. Just kind of blinking slowly like a deer in the headlights. Hi, my name's Manny, and I was told that I need to work on my customer service skills. So please, this is actually a service to me, if you wouldn't mind. I do have a twin. His name is Marty. He's a very strong worker, I think. I mean, we used to push each other on the swings like a lot, and he could always push me a lot higher than I could push him. And he's smaller than me, so I just think that says, that says a lot about his character.
Dottie takes a look at this young'un, thinks of Bob.
Come on, do me a favor, Dottie. They are a very hardworking family, and the boys, they are just angel food cakes.
I'll put him on. What was your brother's name?
Marty. Marty.
He's a smart kid. I looked at
Yeah, I
Crumpet,
know my
very
letters.
smart. All right. Where's Marty? And Dottie looks around before she's like giving him a second before she does the Marty. She's giving him a second.
You see a couple of stark black. They are opposites, Marty and Manny. So Marty is jet black with white spots, and two ears kind of like pop up a couple like yards into the crowd. There are hundreds of hamsters in this hamster brigade right now, and kind of you see like a very very quiet like, excuse me, pardon me. Yeah, that's it. Just keep going. I'll move around you. Not a problem. And like just very polite, like quiet. And Marty does come up and kind of give Manny a little hug. And then they just kind of like sit at attention with you, Crumpet. You have met Marty many times before. He is often over after school for a snack.
And Crumpet's going to hand him a cookie as well. He's trying out new things.
Yeah. Like Dottie will go round, like to squat down. She becomes like round. She's usually slender, but she poofs out. So she like squats and is like round. And she'll like, hi, sweetie. Are you Marty?
Mouthful of cookie nods.
How'd you like a job?
Nods again. Before Marty does anything else, Manny kind of puts up a single finger on a single paw. I hope it's not a problem. Miss Dottie, I know that you work for a yard shop. Mandy, sorry, Marty, I'm gonna do that too. Marty, is it okay? Do you know sign hamblage? Because Marty isn't very good at like directly speaking to strangers, and he would appreciate. I can't actually sign. Can you actually sign, Shears? Oh no, I'm about to embarrass myself. Amazing.
I sign a little.
Cool. Yeah, we're
Ben
just gonna
taught me.
say Marty signs back excitedly, realizing that he doesn't need to speak and face this specific kind of social anxiety that he has around like his elders. He does real quick like whisper in Manny's ear like a thank you that you can kind of overhear if you're listening, but
so I am not fluent in sign as of yet, but I do. Dottie will say as she signs a little slower so Marty can be able to see what she is signing, and just says, my eldest is deaf. He interprets.
You have never seen a small ham look so excited. I mean, maybe Tulip around a certain like kind of flowers, you know, but like that's the closest thing that you can compare it to, just because you live so near Tulip. Both brothers are just excitedly munching away at these cookies. Crumpet, Manny has clearly been like storing some of them, and he's like pulling out just like cookie after cookie. You're actually pretty sure that he just took a tray of them for the road. So he's
I mean, the
munching
shop
away.
is closed, so they're going to go to waste otherwise. Which is why Crumpet, now with this little gathering around, has probably started just filling everyone's hands up with something.
Incredible. What is your signature? Do you have like a signature pastry?
Well, the bake shop is called Try Your Zest.
Oh,
So
that's right.
Crumpet specializes in these like orange lemon zest little scones with like a nice little honey glaze on top of them.
Ooh.
And she's probably handed out.
I think now, so you guys are about halfway there. You've just kind of been walking and talking. Business deals are rolling as they do. This time of the month is a really great way for hams that don't usually see each other a whole lot to really interact and just catch up. this is this is Hamily time, everybody having a great conversation with each other. I will say this, Sprout, Tickle has brought you a stick. Will you throw it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I do try to avoid the crowd.
Yeah.
But I'm also really ancient and don't have the aim I used to have or the vision I used to have. So
Okay. I will say you usually, when you throw it, will throw it like backwards, because you guys are like towards the back of, and he can easily catch up with you guys. It's not a problem.
yep, that'll go.
Okay. This floof of a dog seems to almost like glide, not hitting the forest floor beneath his feet, as he races to go and get the stick, not bringing back the same stick that you threw, but instead a slightly larger stick that he then brings and sits at Tulip's feet.
Wait, the stick? The dog is sitting at my feet.
Mhm.
Does he want me to draw?
He does.
He does. Oh,
I
pet,
think you've
pet.
made a new friend.
I love him. I'm try my best to grab the stick, which is probably very larger than Tulip. Like, yeah.
Very, very damp.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of
Oh.
dog drool on that stick.
Okay. Yeah, go try the good dog.
See, this is why Sprout wears so many shawls, because when the inevitable slobber coats one, she can just sort of
Amazing.
move it over.
That is a good tactic. I love it. Oh,
Can you tell I own a new fee?
So you're saying it's based on real life events? I see.
Oh, absolutely.
I love it.
And
Incredible.
as Tickle is doing the wonderful sprinting around and stick fetching, I am making mental notes on his accoutrements as well to see where I might add a little bit of extra pizzazz. Perhaps
Trinaya Fashion Week win.
Mhm.
Tulip probably like keeps sticking very tiny flowers on the fur if Tickles allows for that. Just like
Oh, absolutely.
every time he
It's
comes back
attention.
with the stick, little flowers, just like flowers all over the dog now.
I'm thinking he would look very smart in a jacket.
He would.
I have a canvas that we could probably do some embroidery on it.
Oh,
Because
that would
those
bring out
flowers-
his eyes.
Yes, and those flowers juxtapose very well with the fur, and I'm thinking we could do some floral embroidery inspired by those flowers. What do you think, Tulip?
Oh, I think it's amazing. I'm glad I could inspire greatness,
Mhm.
Grandma. Whoa.
See, fashion is collaboration.
Whoa.
Tulip looks like every time Kara gives like a life advice or something, like Tulip is like
Yes.
pays much attention. Like I am
And
learning.
and for you, Sprout, I will do this for free because the tea that you made for my arthritis is perfect.
Oh, I'm just so glad that it worked.
Yes, it is perfect and it tastes lovely. So for you, I will make a lovely fashionable jacket for Tickle.
Oh, that is so, so kind. Oh, Caramel.
Amazing. I will go ahead and ask this real quick. I imagined Tickle as like a jet black Newfie. Is that right?
Yep.
So all
That's
of these
right.
flowers are like perfectly standing out from this stark
Yeah.
black fur.
Oh,
Amazing.
Pinterest pictures of Newfies covered in flowers when
Oh,
someone
I will
celeb,
send
please.
you a picture of mine with a floral wreath around his neck. I have a photo.
Oh, please. Please put it in the Discord.
yes.
I will. I will.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Well, this is a great place for me, I think, to get going on our break. I will go ahead and just let you all know we have reached the edge of the forest. You do start to see daylight through all of the leaves above your heads, and you can see between the trunks of the trees ahead of you kind of the skyline of the Long Legs houses that lie beyond in the newest
Ooh.
development that has popped up close to everybody loves the beach. There is a long leg sized beach right next door to yours. You can often hear the stomping and feel the vibrations of feet on sand on any given day. It is why there are so many acorns readily available. You don't even have to pick them. They just kind of fall from vibrating off of all of the branches of the trees around your tree houses. I will say the volunteers are being asked for to begin the general excursion through the tall grass to get to the statue, and they are starting to hand out the large kind of satchel backpack-y bags that folks are given whenever they go to collect all of the items because they are often big. They do usually send around 20 to 30 hamsters out here to do this big task. It is a big ask. So the queen is leading the charge, and she does kind of announce, "Hi, y'all. Just so everybody knows, this is Honey Butter Biscuit. I do have a little request. If any volunteers would come to the front of the brigade, that would be absolutely delightful. We are ready to begin our excursion through the tall grass to the large and in charge hamster statue that has been erected in our honor, as we do once a month. I appreciate all of y'all for being here today and pause up and against each other in an applause for the wonderfully brave volunteers that are willing to go out and do this for us today. Safe travels, everyone. I will be waiting for the volunteers at the front, and you will get a second complimentary excursion button for volunteering today as a gift from yours truly. These ones are green, so if anybody's interested in a green button, please come forward. And you can see her, she's kind of like halfway up a tree, kind of just calling. She has a beautiful like purpley bluish kind of like starlight cloak that she's wearing. No crown, just the cloak is what makes her look fancy. She's not super proud or prideful as the queen. This is a democracy. She was elected to be queen. um, she has every intention of picking another queen after her before she gets too old to empathize with these smaller hamsters that she is in charge of. US, take notes. All right. Uh, and with that, we're gonna take a quick 10. Back just after the half of the hour, we will go collect goodies from the hamster statue. So everybody, go grab a handful of sunflower seeds, a smooch from your significant other, or just go take a bio break, have a good time, grab a drink, and take your meds. We'll be back in 10. Thank you all for being here. Bye, Emily. Welcome back, buddies. It's us, your Hamily. Thank you all so much for being here this evening. I will say, so far, things have been adorable. We have not actually rolled anything yet, and that happens quite often when running this game. We might have whole sessions where we don't make dice rolls because the role play is just too good. Nobody needs to ask to be able to do anything. That might change, though, in the next hour and a half that we have left, or a little bit under an hour and a half that we have left. So stick around if you want to see any mechanic stuff. But I will say so far, we have introduced everybody. Yes, it is ham-er time. Ham-her time. Self-fem stream. Okay, all right. Well, that's going in my ad copy next week. So far, the bakery was out of honey. Manny fixed it. Manny's brother was offered a job offer. The dog is very good at fetching sticks. And flowers make great currency thus far. And buttons supposedly are going to make a great something, according to Caramel. TBD on that. I will say, you guys all have reached the edge of the forest in this grand migration for bestowing day, the day where you guys all head out to the giant, to you, to Long Legs. This is a small, like, maybe 2 feet tall statue with a little like bowl in front of it that can carry various things in there. The bowl is removable, but you guys very rarely end up bringing the entire bowl back with you because the bowl is metal and it is quite heavy. It is water safe though, does not rust, keeps everything nice and clean for you guys. The queen, Honey Butter Biscuit, has officially asked for volunteers to head out into the tall grass to go the couple of yards that it takes to get to this thing. You will be somewhat out in the open. If anybody has watched anybody go through tall grass, the top of the tall grass kind of splits with the volume of whatever is down below it, and 20 to 30 hamsters, that's going to be about a foot of tall grass that's kind of split. So you will have to be careful and or split off into smaller groups to avoid detection, because it has been reported in the past that sometimes younger longlegs do enjoy trying to spy the small fluffy beings. They don't know what to call you. You are just magical to them. But they have been known to spy to try and attempt to catch Michtims before, to keep them as pets. So, you all have your own pets, your own lives, your own hopes and dreams. Hopefully, that will not happen to anybody anytime soon. It hasn't happened in over 100 years. And that lovely Michtim was retrieved and did live a long, healthy life among the treetops. They didn't get very far. So, without further ado, does anybody volunteer to be a part of the brigade that goes out into the tall grass in exchange for a green button, mind you?
Oh, yes.
Looking
Definitely.
at Grandma Kara, the green buttons sound like they could be nice with the golden ones we had. Do you want the green
I think
buttons?
I think so. Yes,
Yes. Yay.
it's good to go out every now and then to get the fresh inspiration.
At this point, I think Tulip is like actually carrying a little notepad and writing down like Kara's like,
Okay,
go out and touch grass, like something like that.
I want desperately a
Wow.
Grandma Caramel TED Talk.
Please. Yes.
I really do.
Please.
All right. Any other paws in the air to volunteer? All paws in the air? Dang. All right. Cool. Not splitting the party.
Dottie's
I see.
gonna sit this one out. She's gonna watch the youngins do the job. And just like you know how like there's a commentator for an event?
Mm-hmm.
She and Gertie are the commentators. Like, well, we're back here again. Let's see how these youngins do. She
I
like
imagine
from her
like
satchel
another
that
old
she had
lady.
taken with her. She pulls out a sewing project that she's been working on. and just like plops down and poofs out. And she's gonna wait. Like, she's already done her time.
Yeah, any of you older Michtims have definitely volunteered for this several times before. It is unlikely that you will do this more than a few times a year. Per individual, just because there are several hundred of you. So with everybody taking their time and assuming kind of a 50-50 split between old and young, there is a good opportunity for you to go, being out of one of the 20 to 30 Michtims, but it is not required by any means. So those of you who do go forward, that is everybody except for Dottie, correct? Okay. So everybody except for Dottie. Dottie, please feel free to take a tree side seat. There are lots of holes in the trees at the end of the forest that have been specifically cleared out and are guarded by owls, so that humans do not like go putting anything in them, because they are filled with small hamster-sized chairs for the viewing and the
God.
observation for safety purposes of this grand excursion a couple of yards into the tall grass to get to the statue. Um, are you, do you, I'm assuming everybody here has a seat that they just naturally go to. Are you looking for something high? Are you looking for something close? Do you have viewing glasses? Like,
Oh, I got binoculars. I
yep.
got a megaphone to
Mm.
cheer on the youngins. Like I
This is
said, she's
sport.
the commentator.
Yeah.
And she has her seat, a little bit of like mezzanine kind of deal, and she
Oh,
just like sits down and poofs out of the chair. There's like little bits of sticking out.
letting it all fluff out. Got to air dry, you know.
Oh yeah.
Lot of moisture on the forest floor. Fair game. Okay. Gertie is still on your shoulder, but you do see she does like pull a string of her own from like the ceiling, if there were a ceiling inside of a hollowed out tree trunk, and a small like spider-sized hammock does pop down from the ceiling, and she does climb into it to give your shoulders a little bit of a rest while you are viewing. And she has a like double juice pouch hat that she puts on, and she like puts she has, you know, fangs, so she is able to put like a straw behind each fang, like to hold them securely, so she can still exclaim with delight the sporting event that is happening, which is get in the tall grass, get out of the tall grass as quickly and efficiently and effectively as possible. This is as close to a military operation as Michtims have ever seen. They are not violent towards each other or other groups of Michtims. So this is pretty much the most exciting part of the month for everybody. Those who have a little bit extra pent up energy are usually the ones to go into the grass and get things done. There is a bit of speed involved and skill involved. This is something that you would have all learned how to do in hissing school. So, without further ado, the queen does have a beautifully handmade, probably by the shops of Caramel and Dottie, you know, together, a yarn flag that she will begin to fly as the 20 to 30 or so Michtims all line up at the front, and break up into groups of like 4 or 5. So the 4 of you that are all going can be your own little cluster, and we can go ahead and go to the grass that way. We are trying to split up, but not leave anybody out. Just like I said, so that way there's not just one giant splitting of the grass kind of a situation. Sorry, I just clapped right in front of my mic. I'm sorry, viewers. So yeah, is there anything anybody wants to do to prepare before we go into the tall grass? Does anybody have anything on their character sheet they would like to do? Um, I mean, I will even say, like, if anybody wants to pre-roll to like help a friend, if needed, because there are a lot of like nettles in the grass. There are plenty of things for fur to get stuck on. There are even, not all of the time, the trinkets that are in the bowl make it out of the tall grass. So you might encounter in the tall grass forgotten trinkets that didn't make it out last month. There is a cleanup crew that goes through and tries to scavenge a little bit, but no ham left behind, so they don't send large groups of hams into the grass to scavenge. It's just kind of what's lost is lost. So, um, I,
I'm going to because I am worried about Tulip. She is my pride and joy. And I love that she is being so brave to go out into the grass, but I would not let her go out by herself. That's why I'm there. But I'm still going to worry a little bit. And because of that, I'm going to go ahead and pre-roll my grief, which is my worry,
mm,
because
all
I
right.
want Tulip to stay safe because she is very small.
She
And
is
very
small.
round.
So let me see. Okay, and that is. Oh, I pulled up the wrong character sheet.
How many do you have in grief? You have 4 in grief. Is that your big one?
That's the big one, yes.
Okay. Are you rolling all 4? Um,
I'm going to go because this is dangerous, but I don't want to over worry because that doesn't
sure.
help anyone. I'm going to roll 2.
Okay. You only have to beat a 7.
Yep.
So let me know.
Oh, 11.
11 out of 12. Nice. Okay.
Yes.
Do you have something specific that you are doing with that, like that you are mentally preparing for?
I I have my sewing kit with me, and it
Mm,
has a needle. Although it's a very it, well, for long legs it would be a very small, like the smallest embroidery needle. So for me it is like a sword. And I'm going to brandish it. Fierce Grandma Ham brandishing her embroidery needle. And I will very cautiously poke at the grass. You know.
Tulip would also like to do a thing, and then Sunny would like to ask a question about mechanics. Haha. um, Tulip would like to perform a cheerful tune to the
yes.
party to like inspire, to encourage friends to celebrate and like a happy song for the travels and everything like that. And I would like to know how that works. That is one of my songs from being a bard. It's literally called a cheerful tune.
Okay.
And
That uses joy, right?
yes.
Okay. So if you are doing that, you are going to roll a d6 for me, or how many dice do you have in joy? You can roll up to that many dice.
I see. I have 3. So 2
You have
extra ones.
3. Okay. Um so yeah, so you're good on that one. You're going to so to perform, I'm just going to read directly out of the book. You
Mhm.
spend an action which you're pre-rolling here. This isn't
Yeah.
like you only have so many things you can do in a turn. You perform a song of the appropriate emotion. I would say you're excited, so joy is appropriate here. So you don't have any dice against you. This is fairly easy for you to do. Um, allies against earshot, 1d6 to gain 1 mood marker. So because you are doing the joyful tune, they would gain 1 mood marker in joy.
Ah,
So yeah. So then they can use those mood markers to add extra dice to joy rolls for themselves. Um, super
nice.
cool, super nice. You're just giving them a buff,
Mhm.
essentially. So um, you can, if you want, though, roll more than 1d6 to give them
Mhm.
more mood markers. But keep in
Ah,
mind, not everybody can have like more than 3 mood markers.
I see.
So if you have 3 dice, maybe not like you could roll all of them, but then joy is just like full for everyone.
Mhm.
So you don't necessarily have to, but that's an option. Um,
I see. So I need so of like roll 2. I need to
Yeah.
beat like a 7. Is that how it works? Like
You
mechanic
don't
wise?
need to beat
Oh.
anything on this. You
Ah.
just need to you rolling is how many like mood markers that you have to distribute.
Oh, I
So
see. Gotcha. So if I roll 2, it will let me know how many mood markers. Sorry, I'm really trying to learn.
yeah. So you have 1, 2, 3. You have 3 allies going in with you. So if you
Mhm.
roll like a 3 or above, you can give all of your allies a mood marker.
Ah, okay. Excellent.
If not, you have to choose.
I also rolled an 11.
Okay, so great. Everybody go ahead and take a mood marker in joy that is going in. I will say, Dottie, if you would like to take one, you are within earshot to hear this like, little joyful tune. Go ahead and take one as well with an 11. Absolutely. Great. All right. Anybody else want to do anything before you head in?
Yeah. Crumpet, like after like they group together, they turn and look at the boys. All right, you two, you're gonna go and spend some time with Miss Dottie. There is no reason that either of you should be out here. Now you're gonna take these treats to her and Miss Gertie, and you're gonna practice your customer service, Fanny, and tell me exactly what she thinks about them. And she shoos them off before rounding on like the rest of the group. And Crumpet, okay, now we are not going out there on empty stomachs, y'all. Okay? So I need everyone to come here. You're gonna get a snack. You're gonna eat that snack. I have more for when we're in the grass if we need them. But everyone is going to get something. And I am going to, I guess prepare would work the same, where I just kind of roll.
Yeah.
It says set up a booth, but Crumpet, they probably like they probably have like a container in their bag that they're bringing that or
You've got to fold out for
yeah.
sure. Like you.
um but they like pull out a like little container of these little like jelly squares dusted in sugar. um they're going to be ghost jelly Trinian delights. I'm going to be
Oh.
rolling with fear. These are going to dim the imbiber's fur and silence their breathing.
There you go.
To okay.
Also, just so everybody knows, when you are offering things, it is if you are tying them to an emotion, it is said that your victim is feeling that emotion in some way, so you are kind of sharing the wealth. So in this case, just for everybody to understand, the fear that Crumpet is feeling a little bit of is being shared and evenly distributed amongst everybody to like share the emotional load. So
Yeah, they Crumpet goes out to get ingredients. They don't particularly like the danger of this all. Um and it's worrying sometimes. Definitely a little scary. But that's an 8.
Okay,
So
yeah. Cool. Everybody absolutely take a mood marker. Um I will say mood markers for you guys do offer just automatically a +1 to anything that you roll with that mood. So keep that in mind if you roll anything else. Those of you who have fear now and you have joy now. So automatically, if you make a joy roll, even if you roll 1d6, it is automatically a 2 because the lowest you can roll is a 1 on the die plus your +1 in joy. So
I will say
easy enough.
specifically any recipes that the cook's using, it says that it is used to augment specifically hide and evade for this.
Oh, I do have the cook up. Oh yeah, yep. That's an extra thing. that I said.
Okay.
So that's everybody got a marker in fear just because you spent that, and everybody imbibes their fur and silences their breathing. Yeah, you're well set up, folks. All right. Well, in that case, the group of the four of you are ready to officially head into the tall grass. You all see up to your left. Yeah. Yes, Tina, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
No, don't worry at all. Can I just use a little hex just before we go?
Promise? Yeah, go ahead, please.
Woohoo. So, I
Granting
mean,
circumstances.
this is not Sprite's first rodeo, and she is very happy to be here and very happy to be one of the 20 today. So, she is going to cast her joyous hex, the moving hex. And her trigger for this hex is any non-Michtim that is attempting to hide. It'll pop for them.
Okay.
It can dispel, hide, fire, detect, basically. So I'll get like a detect roll if something's hiding, I assume.
Very cool. And I'm assuming, because I am going to say all of you have done this activity at least once before, so you do know where your target is. So I would allow you to say that you can instantly kind of pop, if these conditions are met, to the statue. Is that what you're arguing?
Yeah. That basically, like, I would dispel their hide so that we know that they're there, so that we were not like snuck up on by some crazy.
Right. Okay. Yeah, love that. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, so let's see. Because Jolt is
It's like that second
it's a
bit of
foot
it.
per jolt. So you can get like
Cool.
a foot closer, I'll say, using that.
Okay.
That's still 3 feet in the yard, 2 yards. So I mean it's pretty good. Pretty good. 6th of the way there, if that condition is met. Excellent. Okay. So anybody else before I wrongfully move forward again?
Dottie's gonna take out that megaphone,
Mm-hmm.
and she don't need it. She does it for a laugh. Like, takes it out and goes, "You got this. Be safe." And I'm going to send out the Dottie's medical machine to follow them.
Okay. Okay.
Oh.
I'm gonna use love.
Cool. All right. So this is the equivalent of a scouting drone, then? That's what you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very quick little drone. Cool. Tell me about the machine. Does it walk? Does it fly? Does it like hover? What's the situation?
There's a few variations, but for this occasion, this is kind of like a drone. Where instead of like the 4 little things like a modern drone IRL, it's more like a whirligig kind of contraption.
Amazing. Okay. How many joy dice do you have?
3.
3. How many of those would you like to
Oh wait,
set
no,
aside
that's
to either?
I have 3 for love, 4 for joy.
Oh, okay. Cool. So, for love, yes. Cure. Perfect. Are you setting aside how many dice for cure?
Let's go for the full 3.
The full 3. All right. Great.
She's a
You guys are
boisterous person.
pretty.
She loves fully.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Very cool. Well, I will say, just so everybody knows any of those D6, the machine will act on initiative if I make you guys roll initiative. Which I'm pretty sure uses joy. Yes. Yep. Because that uses detect. All right. I'm remembering things. We're good. We're fine. Cool. And Dottie, I will say you do need to like keep an eye on things in order for this to work. Because you are the one that like controls the machine. So if it needs to work, then it will go on your initiative. All right, great. So without further ado, is that everyone before the flag drops? Cool. I will say this is a very
do I need to
thick-
roll?
You roll if it's triggered. You just set aside dice for
Okay.
now. This is a very heavy flag. It is like a knitted flag. It goes with the cozy vibe for sure, but the queen is almost like threatening to like lose her balance a little bit off of the side of the tree that she's on, so she kind of catches herself for a moment and goes, "Good luck, y'all. You got this. I believe in y'all. You're good. You're good. You're great. You're perfect. You're fluffy. You're having a great time. Right? We've done this before. This is ain't no thing. Ain't no thing." All right, so you guys all head into the tall grass. Compared to you guys, this grass is about 4 to 5 Michtims high, meaning that it would take 4 to 5 of you to be able to see over the top of it, all stacked on top of one of each other. So you could definitely do this, but before attempting something of the sort, just know that it would draw a lot of attention to your party. I've just had it done. I've had it happen before. So I'm warning you guys, it would take a little bit of skill. You would need to roll for it, but feel free. You guys have, like I said, 2 yards to move forward. So you guys do get about, I'm going to say like 2 feet in before one of the scouting groups ahead of you guys that is mostly in charge of finding, maybe sticks that are in the way or like larger rocks. It is never really set in stone. There's no map for getting through the tall grass because children of the long legs enjoy playing at the edge of the forest, and they very often will leave things not where they found them. They won't put them back. There might be a large rock in your way, or a stick, or maybe somebody lost a jacket that a Michtim could very easily get stuck in the sleeve of. You just never know. There have been shoes found before, which, when torn apart, make excellent material for clothing. So, after being deodorized a little bit, of course. So getting about 2 feet in, your scouting troop does find a large sack of flour in the middle of the way. It is huge compared to you guys. If anybody has been to Costco, you know that giant sacks of flour in the baking section are about like a yard wide themselves. So you guys have a choice. Would you like to attempt to go over it? Through it is an option. It has happened before, or around it.
First, I would like to gather some of it.
Perfect. I will say these bags that you guys have been given, they are very much like the bag that never ends. Like, you open one part of it and it gets a little bit bigger, and you open another part of it gets a little bit bigger. It is compartmentalized. I would say you definitely have some jars with you so you don't get flour all over the place, Crumpet. But you are very easily able to gather at least a couple of what would last you the day of containers of flour. So, and it's not very heavy either. Like I said, you've done this before and you lift flour for a living. So this is nothing for you. Would anybody else like to do anything before making a group decision on what you are doing?
Would like
I
to
am
know
go-
how like the distance. Like if we went around, like how big does it look at like tall wise and long wise? Like
Tall wise, 3 Michtims. Width wise, about a yard. So you guys go about like 2 feet per turn ish. You guys are 2 feet away from the edge of the forest. You do have, there's 6 feet total. So you only have like 4 feet really to go. But with this thing being in the middle, it's taking up 2 feet. So if you get over it and on top of it, you not only have to get on top of it, but off of the other side safely. And then you have 2 more feet to go. So.
I'm sorry, I just imagine Tulip like being on top of it and then just purposefully rolling the way down like a little ball.
Yep.
Yeah, just a little
But
flower covered
yeah,
ball.
probably like pollen coming out. Like, mm. But yeah. Mm.
I will say, if you guys wanted to, it is possible to use joy to jolt, so you can like run and sprint and jump to try and like get yourself up. Mictums do have claws. So you would be able to, rolling high enough, like push yourself up over, but it is 3 Mictums high. So if you think, you have one stronger Mictum at the bottom ready, like with, hands like this to kind of give a boost, you all could make it over, like except for one of you that you will then have to creatively fetch from the top of the flower sack. You do see around you other groups are starting to make decisions. There are a couple of like taker groups that have decided to go through the bag of flour to no avail. There is just flour spilling out on the one side,
Oh my god.
all over the place. Crumpet, this is a baking nightmare. It is going to take several dust baths to get that out of their fur.
And I am
Oh.
just thinking about the damage to their garments.
Oh,
It
good.
is a fluffing nightmare, I tell you.
Oh my god.
Especially if any of them get damp, it just turns into like glue.
Glue.
And
Mhm.
oh,
For that reason, I am getting old. Could we please go around? I know, Tulip, you will have plenty of other times to do
Oh,
your
yeah.
acrobatics.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, suits me better too.
yeah, we're just gonna take a little stroll around.
That sounds fun.
Yeah,
I want to
no.
ask another question. Tulip
Sure.
has a glide wing cloak,
Mhm.
and then the description it says "fly like a leaf in the wind," and I don't know if that's like a thing that like Tulip can actually jump from a little higher place and glide.
Yeah, think of it as, if anybody here has played Breath of the Wild, how I run the glide wing cloak is if like you're on like that like parachute thing.
Okay.
I will say you are young and spry, so you can probably go like a couple of feet without like losing your balance or anything. So you could make it like a decent little chunk of distance doing that. Um, if you
The
wanted to.
reason I ask is very silly. Tulip would probably be going like looking for little steppies to just tiny glide. You know, like how kids go like, I only step on the white blocks, or I have to walk on the line. Tulip would go just like wee wee, just like for absolutely no reason, like legitimately just having a good time, being very silly. That's all.
I would argue that you being so young and spry, Tulip, so young and unbelievably spry and round, um, you are easily able to find like rocks and sticks and things that, yeah, it takes you a little bit of extra effort to get up on them. But as long as there are other Mictums in front of you, kind of clearing a space between the grass to give you a gliding runway of sorts, you can go a couple of inches at a time, in like a zigzag pattern. Yes, those with you will have to be slightly patient, but this is already faster than the tinkerers in the 2 groups that are trying to go through the bag of flour. So, who's really winning here? I think you're having the more fun for sure.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Mhm. All right, yeah. So everybody's cool with Tulip is having a great time. I will say, Tulip, go ahead. This is just like homebrew of mine. Just roll me a d6, just like a
Okay.
random d6.
6.
A 6?
Yeah.
Okay. You get high enough at one point. There is a breeze that sifts down between just 2 exceptionally thick blades of grass. And you see as it kind of lifts you just high enough to where you can barely see. Your ears are like just barely tall enough to see over the tallest blades of grass on either side of you. There are a couple of buttons that are like on blades of grass ahead of you guys. You'll have to go a little bit out of your way. You won't be riding the edge of the flower anymore. But if you would like to collect them, you can easily do so. Like, I won't make you roll for it because you noticed you rolled a 6.
I would love to collect them. I'm gonna go to Kara. Grandma Kara, I have found some very pretty buttons. They're just a little bit on that side, and I think they would make a very good addition to any project you make. And I
I
like, yeah.
I think so. I am envisioning a headband
Oh,
that will be all of the rage with all of the little buttons on it.
I'm
You
on
know,
it.
or if we can get a big one, it could be a fascinator. I think the long legs call it. Go
Writing
ahead.
it down. Oh my god, okay. I'm on my way. I'm gonna get that button.
Tulip, speaking of a fascinator, boy, do you find one. There is a button that is close to half of the size of your little hamster head. It is like mirrored on all sides. You can see your reflection in it.
Oh,
And there are two smaller buttons. One is like a rainbow marble, and the other one is black and white zebra stripes.
oh, I love
Three
that.
Wow.
quite unique buttons.
That is amazing. Immediately go and give it to Kara. But first, look in the mirror one. Adjust spool. Go, Grandma. Look how pretty they are.
Oh, very, very well done. We can make something beautiful from those.
Yay!
You have a very good eye.
Thank you. I got it from
Incredible.
you.
Oh,
With that, I will say you guys have moved another 4 feet, so you are halfway there. As you reach the top edge, if you think of the bag of flour as kind of rolling it's rolled out on the ground in like a rectangle. So you guys have made it to the top, like right corner of the rectangle. So if you go in a diagonal, you have like just over a yard left to get to the statue. Um, is anybody else doing anything as you're walking, or are you all just continuing through the grass, just trying to? Is anybody trying to be exceptionally sneaky or anything right now, or are we admiring the buttons? What's going on?
Definitely admiring those buttons. Genuinely impressed that Tulip found these on. Is it your first outing or have you done it before? I don't know.
I think I've done this at least once before.
Done it
With
before?
yeah, yeah.
It's. I'm still impressed because I've probably done this a lot of times. I'm very old. Like
Oh,
this. Mm-hmm.
thank you. I like shiny hunting, so I just see things and I like want like I need shinies. Yeah.
Such a good job with such tiny eyes.
Thank you. Goes even more round. Becomes orb.
Incredible. All right. Well, I will say this. You guys are at the halfway point now. If anybody is paying any extra attention at all, Dottie, I will say that you notice from where you are, there are two small long-legged children that are sneaking their way like around the fenced-in house that is kind of the closest to you guys that it can be between you and the forest. So still like several yards away. But several yards for a long leg is a lot less than several yards for a Michtim. So they can clearly see the statue. It does not look like they have noticed any movement in the grass yet. Um, do you have anything that you would like to do? I will say, your bot is pretty advanced. If you had any kind of like a signal, especially to one of the more mature victims in the group, like Caramel, um, if you wanted to tell somebody that something was happening, maybe you have like a rolling screen on your bot or something. You know, like the place that would tell you what's wrong with you. If you were getting a medical diagnosis. I will say Sprout would also know.
Funny you should mention that. The DMM has a little signaling system with a series of bells, and each one is a different tone. Someone getting lost, I would say that would be a C sharp.
Ooh.
Finding something interesting, that would be an F. a very good, I want to say if there are long legs, that would be a high C. All they would have to do is ring the bell as hard as they can and as loud as they can to signal to those who are in the tree trunk that they found something or something's going on. And at the same time, if Dottie sees that, she goes over to where there's like the medical tent. Sometimes you get a bumps and bruises, and she also has to make sure that the machine there works. So she immediately goes down, not as fast as she used to be, but still quickly, and goes over to the high C bell and ding, 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 to relay that to the field machine.
Okay. The field machine begins to reiterate the sound that you are ringing. It does so quiet enough that it will not draw the attention will be drawn like towards the tree line. Um, it is very like close proximity. It's almost like a whisper, so only those in the immediate vicinity will know. You guys are the farthest to the right, like towards where the long legs are. So you could easily warn. I will say there is like a warning system, like rolling a marble at the next most left group, and they will do so until everybody has been notified. But the protocol for this is to hide. You guys are still pretty close to the flower. I will say it is possible to hide inside of the flour sack. It is possible to flatten yourselves against the ground. If you would all like to like flatten on top of each other in a little stack to try and make yourself like holding the least amount of grass apart as possible. You guys let me know, but how the check will work is I need you guys to roll a 7 to hide in fear. I believe there was something for was there an evade or detect
Yeah.
that was
The ghost jelly treat, it augments hide and invade.
Yep. There it is. Cool. And how many dice did you give that for that?
2.
2. Okay, so you guys have a +2 to this. So you guys have a +2 if you would like to add anything else. How many dice do you have in fear? You can use any of those amount of dice to roll. If you choose to leave any of those dice out of the roll because you already have a +2, the amount of dice that you have left over that you aren't rolling also become +1s. So if you have 3 dice and you're only rolling 2 of them, you have a +1 from the dice that you left out plus the +2 from the ghost jelly. So that would be a +3 and you're only rolling 2 dice. So, you guys, does everybody know how many dice you would roll? I trust you guys. Like if I'm so I need everybody to roll a 7. So just let me know like how many dice you're rolling and how many you're leaving out. And then plus that +2 from the ghost jelly.
Do you also need Dottie to roll for that?
No, you do not need to hide.
Okay.
You did your job beautifully. You were the siren. You let everybody know.
I rolled a 7 plus the jelly bonus.
Cool.
I rolled 2 dice, by the way. It didn't set any aside. That's just how many I had.
Very nice.
I also did not set a dice aside and rolled 7.
No way. All right, so a couple of 9s. Very nice.
Hey, guess what?
No way.
The brain cell is reaching new levels, even for dice rolls.
Yeah. So 2 dice with a 7 plus 2.
Shelby,
Love
what
it.
caramel get?
I rolled 2 dice and set 1 aside.
Mhm.
So that 1 aside, would that count as a +1?
Yes, so you have +3
Okay.
and then you're rolling your 2 dice.
Okay. So I got a 10.
So 13. All right, bunch of 9s and a 13. Very
We're
nice.
so good at this.
Because when the hamster goes flat, my instinct is to just go very flat. Flat ham.
Pancake hams.
Y'all just puddle.
Tina,
Yep.
do your hamsters like smush themselves ever? Do they do that?
Yeah, especially the dwarf ones. The dwarf ones just love, like, I don't know, like the heat of your hand, and they just pancake.
Yes.
Oh my
This
god.
th-
They
this
just go
is precisely what I am doing. I am doing the hamster pancake. Just
Tulip is trying to mimic it as well as possible. It's like, yes, yes. Pancake.
Hamster.
or would it be a ham cake?
Ooh.
Cake.
Oh.
Pun counter.
Pancake.
Now.
I
It is
have a
now.
needle in my hand. I almost.
Oh no!
Congratulations.
Wow, Shelby almost
This is
causing
a-
actual PvP.
Oh my god. I'm like gonna cry. This is so cute. All right. Fine. Everything's fine. All right, ham cakes. I will say if you are willing to wait a couple of minutes, the grass goes silent. There is no longer the rustling of grass fibers against fuzz or the backpacks that you carry on your backs. It is dead quiet for a moment, except for the sounds of almost the wind like whistling through the grass itself. So, if you guys are willing to sit there for a minute, I will say, Dottie, you do notice that the kids like slowly lose interest. The sound of the wind isn't really enough to draw their attention. In fact, they both like pick up blades of grass between their hands and like try to do like the whistle thing. You know, I can't do it. All of my friends growing up could do it. I can't. But yeah, they're over there doing the blade of grass whistles. That is distraction enough. Did you say that you had like an all clear bell or no? Okay.
High C is long legs, and then I'll say E is the all clear. Actually,
Okay.
no, A.
A. A okay. Got it. Cool. Amazing. You guys hear the very quiet and simple chime of an A from the medical bot that Dottie so graciously gave you guys for your travel. And I will say, if you guys are willing to, you can probably get another couple feet by like crawling on your bellies if you want, kind of like doing the hamster shuffle. So you only have a couple feet left. If you all want to stand up and resume the position. Um,
Grandma, did I pancake good? Did I do it?
Yes, my dear, you pancaked very well.
Excellent. Thank you, Grandma.
Almost like an actual pancake.
Oh, that is such a high
Oh my
compliment.
God.
Thank you.
Incredible. Yeah. I will say with that, you all get to the statue finally without any further problems. Thank you to Dottie for your buff. Thank you to Crumpet for your buff. Thankfully, it didn't need to be used as much as it could have been. All right. So, with that, everybody reaches the statue. This is a gorgeous bearded ham that you guys walk up on. It is easily 8 or 9 hams high. This thing
Wow.
is a big old statue. It does have a fountain coming out of like almost like a whirly bird hat like on its head. This is a very whimsical piece of the environment for the long legs. They have definitely done a lot to it. They put flowers by it once a month whenever they are making offerings. The flowers are actually what notify the bees to let the crows know, to notify the queen that there has been a drop at the statue at the fountain. I will say Tulip and Caramel, you guys are probably among the first to know that this was happening. So you do also have a couple of hints as to what is over here. I will go ahead and give you guys the list of everything that is here. I am going to put it in our chat and I am going to read it out loud as well. There are quite a few things this month. So you guys would have known that there are some floral things, there are some crafting things. You were definitely excited. That's probably why you volunteered, and your friends followed suit. So, without further ado, these are the items that are in the large bowl. Some things are outside of the bowl in their own carrying cases, baskets, so on and so forth. There is a ring of tiny keys. Some of them are broken, but most of them are intact. There is a skein of silk fabric. There is a bag of old-fashioned bottle caps, like you would find in like an old like Coca-Cola container. Two pouches of stuffing. One is white and one is baby blue. There are several strings of beads, shells, and crystals. They all do have a small hole in them because they are strung on like a clear string. It's a little bit stretchy. There is a bottle of something called Mountain Dew. There is a bag of something called M&Ms. There are watermelon, tomato, and pumpkin seeds. There is a 10-pack of reusable straws. They are the plastic kind. Various jars and cork stoppers. A lot of them are small, like you would get like in those like crystal goodie bags. They hold like little like amethyst chips and that kind of stuff. They're perfect for Michtims. Rainbow pipe cleaners, a doll-sized Barbie Jeep, Ritz cracker sleeves, a rubber band ball, small combs and brushes. A lot of them do have extremely soft bristles. Two baskets of fresh picked corn. It is still in the casing. It smells delightful. There are also in that basket some of like dried corn, so where all of the kernels have been like dehydrated for ham snacks. A small sewing kit missing everything but the needles. Several kinds of coins and buttons. A hand mirror with clay flowers around the edges. Various notes and happy messages from the long legged children. A stack of embroidered napkins. These are embroidered with bees and hedgehogs. They are absolutely stunning. They're like cotton ones that you have to like wash in real life. Like these are they
Mhm.
unfold to be pretty massive. And a sack of flour and a sack of rice. Um, all of the rest of the Michtims are close behind you guys. They did wait a tad longer than you all to get up, waiting for your signal. So the marble is eventually passed back to you as everybody gathers. And it is a massive haul for you guys to attempt to stuff any of this in your bags. Is there anything that I listed that you all would like to claim individually for yourselves? Because you were the first to get here, it is Michtam tradition that the first to arrive fill their bags first, and then the rest is like shared amongst. So, you guys have never been first before, any of you. You have all participated, but this is your first time being first. So, if there's anything that you would like to claim, you cannot necessarily claim all of it. Like a rubber band ball is going to fill your backpack. So, you can have the rubber band ball and nothing else. So, like, check with me if you think I might not be able to fit all of this in my backpack, or I only want some of it. Absolutely fine. You have brought containers and like beeswax wraps to like wrap like foodstuffs in if you only want little bits of it to put in your pantries at home. So you guys just let me know. And then you can add
I
it to your sheets.
Oh, I would love those sunflower seeds. Oh, sorry, pumpkin seeds. That would be fantastic to grow in the garden.
Okay.
I am going to take the napkins for myself and the silk fabric for Dottie to put in her shop.
Perfect.
Yes.
I will say there is about like the equivalent of like 2 feet worth of silk fabric for you, Dottie. And the napkins, there are 3 of them. And they're
Okay.
about like a square foot a piece.
Tulip is definitely drawn to the strings of beads and shells and crystals, like the shiny whoa things. But is also very confused about this M&M thing here. Going like,
That looks like
I
something that Crumpet could use
I will
Yeah.
say,
in your bakery.
Crumpet, you do
Mhm.
recognize these. They are that chocolate that you have, so lovingly been testing out, but this is covered in colors. It's chocolate covered in
Yes.
colors. What's that?
I think Crumpet first off, it's that bottle of Mountain Dew they're going to grab.
It is like a mini bottle. You
Yeah.
will have to drag it, but you can rig it to a couple of strings on your pack and kind of like it'll like roll behind you.
But yeah, the Mountain Dew, and they definitely want as much of the food stuff as they can carry, but they're not going to like take all of it.
Sure.
They're like gonna grab like a few M&Ms and maybe like one or two of the Ritz crackers, like a piece of like corn and like some of the dried corn kernels. They're
Amazing.
not sure they're gonna use all of this stuff.
Sure. Well, you do have a friend also growing pumpkins now,
Mhm.
so there will be more food to come. Let's see. Caramel got something. Dottie got something. Tulip got something. All right. Did everybody get something? What they wanted?
We commandeer the Barbie Jeep.
uh, does anybody want to attempt to turn it on? There is a small ring of tiny keys. One of them might fit in the Barbie Jeep if you guys want to try. There are six keys.
I
Um
100% want to try. Please.
Cool. Roll me a d6.
Because the Mountain Dew bottle can fit in that.
4.
A 4? Okay, well, I'll let you in on a secret. 3 of the keys are broken. Half of them are broken, so you would not have used one of the broken ones. It kind of revs to a start for a moment, but it doesn't like completely power on.
Yeah, that was worth the try. I don't know how to drive though.
You guys would know if you let Dottie at this thing, like with her tools, she'll be able to get it running. But as of right now, it is great for storage to like put things in and to push back to town if you guys would like to use that. You have first dibs to use it to kind of take some of the load off of yourself and off of your fellow victims. I will say this will also make it much easier. You can use it to step on and get over the flour if you guys want to, and if you're willing to like hoist it with string to like drive it over the it's only about like 2 Michtims big, like it's not, and it's plastic, so depending on what you guys put in it, like if you used it to carry the stuffing, like it wouldn't be a
Yeah.
big ask.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I feel like the stuffing would be nice for like crafting things.
It's
That's
also what
yeah.
your nests are made out of. You all have like stuffing in your nests and stuff,
Oh,
so
I'm in favor of the Jeep.
I'm excited for all of the little shells and beads and crystals to decorate the garden. That's what I'm excited for.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, you guys are easily able to load up anything that you guys want off of this. It will kind of go into group storage, so you can take from this at any point. If you guys need anything over the course of the next couple of sessions, I will say the stores from last month have pretty much been like depleted, so this is this month's store. You guys have everything that you could possibly need as like a commune. You have, plenty of food, plenty of clothing. You guys trade and barter for anything else that's like fun or specialty materials, like something that, Caramel can make or Crumpet can bake, for example. Or something that Sprout can brew, like that kind of stuff. So you guys have all of this to go off of. I will not make you do the trip back. It is just assumed that you guys are able to, with the help of all of the other Michtims, you are kind of more in like a family unit on the way back. It is always faster to go back than to go forward because you know where all of the hassles are.
Mhm.
You know where all of the big rocks are. You know where all of the sticks are. You're not tripping over your own 2 feet. I will say it did take a while to get here, so it is beginning to get a little bit dusky outside. So you guys, hamsters, fortunately have great night vision, so you don't have any problems. As these hamsters do. Um, you guys are fine. You all get back to your tree houses. If anybody would like to take a moment to kind of like unwind and recharge for a moment, if you need a moment to yourself. If anybody participates in like pockets of peace for yourself, like making a cup of tea and sitting on the couch for a few moments. There is like a grand feast at the end of the day on days like this, utilizing some of the like fresher food to make sure that it gets used in a timely manner so there's no waste. So there would have been alongside this, like with the fresh picked corn, like maybe a couple of like tomatoes or something. So you guys will be indulging in like the fresh produce. Um, and like what the bakery didn't sell that day usually is a pretty good indicator. And Crumpet, you are given things for giving that to the community. So I have a couple of surprises for you because of that. So yeah, if anybody else would like to participate, I imagine Tulip would make some kind of like centerpieces for this event. Caramel, if you would like to, make anything out of the napkins that you acquired, or relinquish one as like a uh, table setting or something, anybody can contribute anything that you guys want, and I will reward you handsomely for it. Is anybody doing anything when you get home? Are you unloading? Are you using any of the stuff that you got today to do anything?
Dottie is tending to anybody who had like a bump or bruise with the DMM, and making sure to write down everybody who's like fines and checking in with everyone. She's also showing Marty how to do this as well.
Marty's excited.
Signing, explaining like, here, machine go, or bandage, wrap here. Just for clarification for those who are not familiar with sign language, there's a different type of grammatical structure. So instead of saying, oh, you want to go to the market, it's market, you go. So she's explaining through sign and also rattling off as she's doing so. And once that's all done, she heads home. She makes sure Betty is still on sabbatical.
Betty's asleep. Betty is passed out on the couch, one little hamster arm and paw like touching knuckles to the floor, with like a half sipped cup of tea, like resting on her tummy. Precariously, no idea how it hasn't tipped over and spilled yet.
My spouse is very talented.
Glasses on a string around her neck. She's out for the count.
I go grab one of the blankets I knit her. Oh no, correction, them. And very gently place it on top of them. Give him like a nose kiss.
Oh.
And
BBs.
stop by my youngest now empty room. Sigh and go make myself some tea, and before like going out there and being my normal boisterous self.
Amazing. All right. Anybody else?
Yeah. So it's a bit of a busy evening for me before the feast, because I take this opportunity once every month to be sure that I top up everyone's teas. So I sit and prune just enough and make up individual little baggies for everyone of their specific brew. So I make up lemon and lavender for Dottie, for instance, and I make Crumpet like a nice like lemon balm and orange zest brew, and I make like tulip 10 flower like concoction that makes a fantastic tea, and I think Caramel would like something a bit like mellower, I guess. So I'm gonna do like mallow flower and maybe some more chamomile in there. And Crumpet likes her tea quite sweet, so she's gonna have honey and dandelion tea. And I just continue doing that for everyone so that I have the bags to disperse at the feast.
Amazing.
And I'm going to set aside 2 of the napkins to use for my own creative work, as well as the silk, which I will bring to Dottie later. And I will contribute one of these beautiful napkins for a tablecloth
Very
for the
nice.
feast.
Love.
Tulip will definitely make like little arrangements and all of that. Probably like add some of the beads and the crystals and stuff to like, I don't know, like I think it's like one communal table. It's like a lot of tiny little things, just adding it. Try
Yeah,
to make it very colorful.
Yep. Fluff turfs, but Harry Potter dinner table situation. That easiest thing I could think of off the top of my head. Yeah. Incredible. Crumpet, I will say Manny does report back to you that the cookies are delicious. And he does like clean up the bakery for the evening, so like you can focus on preparing anything for the feast or packaging up like baskets of leftover cookies or pastries or anything that you wanted to bring. He will do all the cleanup for you. He is your intern. So yeah, he's having a great night. He's very tired, not really talking a lot, just kind of doing his job, and he's excited for a nap. He's still a little guy, you know.
Jelly Bean, please, just why don't what you do? You watch and make sure that these new batches of the little cakes don't burn. Just sit there at the oven. Okay? Trust me, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of a mess in the kitchen. I mean, heck, I'm a little bit of a mess myself. Because Crumpet's probably been playing around, I'll say primarily with the Mountain Dew.
Mm-hmm.
Testing it out, and they've probably got a little bit of a caffeine high right now. Um,
I would
and
agree.
it's definitely sweet. So they've probably reduced it down to like a syrup, and
Ooh.
they've turned like they've made like little donuts that they're dipping it in, and they're packaging those up to take to the feast along with pretty much everything that didn't get sold that day, which is plenty. Of course, that does not include the stuff that they have already shoved onto other people, which is a lot. Um, but they're gonna kind of just bounce around the kitchen and handle all of that and let Manny decompress from his day.
Manny's shoulders kind of droop as soon as you give him leave to just observe something for a moment rather than actively participate for the first time today. And he will munch on another cookie from his fanny pack, not so excitedly looking down and realizing it is his last one. He will have to restock. Just staring blankly at his own reflection in the front of the oven. He will take out the baked goods once they are done, and like put them on the appropriate cooling rack. But as soon as everything's packed up, he will be in charge of kind of carrying everything. You have a very special like those like keep warm like crock pot things that you can put your whole Pyrex in. You
Mhm.
guys have that kind of stuff for the bakery. So everything will arrive warm and toasty and delicious
I've got the
for
pizza
when you guys
bags.
get to the. Yeah. Perfect. All right. Is that everybody? Yep. Cool. You guys all arrive. The spread is phenomenal. There are roasted sunflower seeds. There are like roasted pumpkin seeds that are sprinkled in cinnamon and chili powder. There are a multitude of fruits and vegetables, whatever you guys grow in your own stores, as well as what was provided today by the long legs. The flower arrangements that Tulip has put together are looking gorgeous against Caramel's new contribution to the tablecloth library. And uh, Dottie, everybody that you have helped out today is increasingly thankful that you were there to help them in their time of need. I will say, as you Sprout begin to pass around these teas, this is just what everybody needed to be able to go to bed tonight. Was a warm cup of fresh loose leaf tea. You know what you're doing. You do it best, and everybody is better off for it. Um, you guys all probably head to bed directly after this feast. Everybody is exhausted. Everybody has had a very welcoming day as far as the giving and the taking of resources and sharing amongst each other goes. And I think that's where we're going to end for this evening. So we've got just enough time left for everybody to give a little outro. So if everybody wouldn't mind telling me who the heck you were tonight. And maybe like a goal for next session and where we can find you. Just a quick little 3 thing. Does anybody want to volunteer to go first? Or I can go first to give everybody time? Cheers.
Good evening, Merry Time Zone. I am Bloodthread Shears, and I was playing Dottie Mary Do, a very boisterous Long Island mom hamster. You can find me quite a few places. There's a reason why I have a link tree. I am Legion. I have many names. I am a. You can find me here on Tuesdays for Michtim, on Sundays for liminal horror, for something a bit more mature, and where I play Tino Miller, a kind of cryptid that summons caffeine at will and maybe other type of beverages. We don't talk about that. Anyways, you can also find me on Instagram at Different Drum Photography. And you can also go to my website, differentdrumphotography.com. I am a professional photographer that specializes in portraits, events, everything but weddings. If you are in the tri-state area of New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and certain areas of Pennsylvania, look me up. Go to my website for booking information. I offer a sliding scale for those who are eligible. And if you're looking for a beautiful headshot or a portrait of you, your dog, whatever, I'm very versatile. I travel, and I'm very good at what I do. Check out my website for updated portfolio information, and give me a follow on social media. Links in the chat. Back to you.
Amazing. Does anybody have a burning desire to go next, or do you want me to call on somebody?
I can go. Wouldn't call it burning, but I
Sunny.
can do it. Hi. I'm loving Sunny. I've been Tulip, your local tiny baby. I'm having such a good time. It's been so wonderful. You can find me Tuesdays here, being Tulip, and on Sundays this month, you can find me on Tavernot's YouTube channel playing Girl by Moonlight AP that we're currently going. It's very fun. I'm playing the Harmony, which is twins. It's been a very interesting dynamic, and it's been super nice. You can find all my links in the card thing that I have. And yeah, I'm a TTRPG player. Kind of getting into the storytelling thing. I did slash am currently doing a Salted Legacy adventure from 5th edition D&D with players, like first level adventure, super nice. And we're gonna be recording the last 4th episode of the series on Friday, and the episodes are going on my YouTube, so you can check that out. do the thing. I'm doing a lot of TTRPG stuff now. That's basically it for me, and it's so lovely to be here. It's yeah, brain started to go burn now, but yeah.
It's the ears. You've been wearing the ears too long.
Yeah, it's too much ear.
Too much ear, not enough space.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna do the last person that's been on the channel before, Shelby.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shelby. I've been playing the fashionista mononym, Caramel. Yes, because if it is fashionable, it is mine. My goal as Caramel, her ultimate goal would be to make a garment for the queen. Because that is one thing, because although she had input on the flag, she has not yet made something directly for the queen.
A high order.
And I am also going to make a beautiful little jacket for Tickle and start working on that sweater for Tulip. Tulip has an entire closet full of sweaters. Yes, anyway, yes. You can find all of my doings on the internet on my card, which the link is in the chat. So, yes, that's me.
Incredible. All right. Last but not least, I wanted to definitely formally give a warm welcome to our two newest members on the channel, just in general. We have very much enjoyed having Alice and Tina here this evening. I am having a blast. Alice or Tina, do you guys have who wants to go first?
Sure, I'll give it a bash. Yeah. So, yes, I'm Tina, and I was playing the wonderful old witch sprite and the wonderful doggo companion Tickle. Sprite's goal is to sort of inspire the youngins and to keep moving as long as she possibly can. So if there's ever anything to do, she's the first one with her hand up, like, yep, I'll do that. Because if she stops, she's a wee bit worried about what might happen. So she just keeps trucking. That's Sprite's goal. You can find me mostly on Twitter at Purple Tina Beans, and if you want to find out a little bit more about real life hamsters and how to keep them nice and ethically, if you have pet hamsters, you can learn more at Tina's Tinies or Hamster Info Ireland, which is the charity that I run here in Ireland for hamsters.
Can confirm. It's incredible. Very cute hamsters as well, even if you just go for the photos. And last but not least, Alice.
Hi, I am Alice. I have been able to play Crumpet the Cook. Their goal for at least for the next session is to get Manny a little bit more confidence. The poor kid needs it. But they're going to try and see what they can come up with. I have some ideas for both the corn and the M&Ms. It's just really fun to be able to get creative with some of this potential recipes. Everyone should have Mountain Dew donuts. Don't. You can find me pretty much anywhere online at Alice Hart. I think I see my card already in the chat. My Twitter is Hellion Hart. Through my card, you'll see that I am a member and producer on Feathered Frequencies. It is a production company. Our main podcast, Welcome to Reddington, we're about to drop the next episode, which I am in this coming Friday. I also make games. I have a little critter one out now called Pick Possuming.
Yes.
It is all about theft and little trash animals.
Oh, that has Taylor all over it.
Uh-huh.
Well, hopefully anyone that checks it out will think it's cute, fun, maybe want to play it. But otherwise, you'll see me here on Tuesdays. I have a few other streams coming up, so just keep a lookout on social media for that.
Amazing. Thank you, buddy.
Where can we find you?
I am bolstered by my players. I'm just happy to be here. I'm Mo, Mother O Cats with a Z on Twitter. It's pretty much the only place I am. I'm running another game on Tuesdays immediately after this is done, and it is nothing like this one. So keep an eye out for that casting call. That's all I'm really doing right now is just being here and being gay and doing crimes. If you would like to join me, please absolutely feel free to put in a pitch. Give us a Twitch sub if Daddy Bezos so wishes it. If you have a free Prime sub to contribute, we would love to have it to give our creators that give us so much of their time. We would love to give them payment in return. I will also say our next stream is tomorrow night. Roll for Luck with Ryu, who has been our lovely producer this evening as the game master for that. It is a wonderful game. Highly recommend. I will say, I think that's pretty much it for announcements. Keep an eye out on the Twitter, but Twitter is dying. So if you can't find us there, try Instagram, maybe until we get a blue sky. I'm not sure. Doing our best. Doing our best. I think we are rating the initiative order if anybody wants to stick around to support another creator that we support. Thank you all so much for being here tonight and have a wonderful hamster rest of your week. Highly recommend getting yourself some ears and hugging a friend. Everybody have a great evening and stick around for the raid if you can. Bye, gang.